Hello friends, welcome here in TNV Academy. In this chapter, we will discuss managing an audit program, clause 5 of ISO 19011-2018. This clause 5 has total 7 subclauses and some subclauses have also subclauses like 5.5 have total 7 subclauses. But here in this session, we will only talk about clause 5.1, that is general. Here we will cover the requirements of the clause 5.1, which includes the requirement of clause 5.3, 5.6 and 5.7 of the ISO 19011-2018. Here is the some reference clause which can be useful for this chapter. Requirement of the clause 5.1 depend upon the requirement of clause 5.3, 5.6 and 5.7. So to understand this subclause requirement, now we will discuss the small introduction about this chapter. Here the first question arises: what is meant by audit program? Audit program is also known as audit plan. It is a detailed plan of the auditing work to be performed by the auditor to proper execute the audit. After the audit plan has developed, a detailed audit program is formulated and written. This program helps the auditor articles in proper execution of audit work. It is defined as the checklist of the audit procedure that auditor have to follow to complete the audit. Note: in short, if we want to describe what is meant by audit program, then it is the tool for planning, directing and controlling the audit work. Here is the requirement of the clause 5.1 of the ISO 19011-2018 standard. 5.1 General. An audit program should be established which can include audits addressing one or more management system standard or other requirements, conducted either separately or in combination, combined audit. The extent of an audit program should be based on the size and nature of the auditee, as well as on the nature, functionality, complexity, the type of risks and opportunities, and the level of maturity of the management system to be audited. The functionality of the management system can be even more complex when most of the important functions are outsourced and managed under the leadership of other organizations. Particular attention needs to be paid to where the most important decisions are made and what constitutes the top management of the management system. In the case of multiple locations, site, that is different countries, or where important functions are outsourced and managed under the leadership of other organizations, particular attention should be paid to the design, planning and validation of the audit program. In the case of smaller or less complex organizations, the audit program can be scaled appropriately. In order to understand the context of the auditee, the audit program should take into account the auditee's organizational objectives, relevant external and internal issues, the needs and expectations of relevant interested parties, information security and confidentiality requirements, the planning of internal audit programs, and in some cases, programs for auditing external providers can be arranged to contribute to other objectives of the organization. The individuals managing the audit program should ensure the integrity of the audit is maintained and there is no undue influence exerted over the audit. The audit priority should be given to allocating resources and methods to matters in a management system with higher inherent risk and lower level of performance. The audit program should include information and identify resources to enable the audit to be conducted effectively and efficiently within the specified time frames. The information should include: first, objectives for the audit program; second, risks and opportunities associated with the audit program, C 5.3, and the actions to address them; third, scope, extent, boundaries, locations of each audit within the audit program. Fourth, schedule, number, duration, frequency of the audits. Fifth, audit types such as internal or external. Sixth, audit criteria. Seventh, audit methods to be employed. 8. Criteria for selecting audit team members. 9. Relevant documented information. Some of this information may not be available until more detailed audit planning is complete. The implementation of the audit program should be monitored and measured on an ongoing basis. See 5.6 to ensure its objectives have been achieved. The audit program should be reviewed in order to identify needs for changes and possible opportunities for improvements. See 5.7. Here is the figure for process flow for the management of an audit program. Now, we will tell you what clause requirement says. First, we want to tell that during certification audit program is prepared by certification body. Certification body must prepare audit program for each of their client. It may be one or more management system standard. It may be conducted separately or in combination. If it will be done in combination, then we will say that combined audit. The coverage of audit program will be depend on the size and activity of client. Also the functions, complexity, medium, low, high, type of risk and opportunities, and the level of management system standard being implemented, audited and certified. Auditor have to pay attention while taking some important decisions. The process of management system will be difficult if more activities are outsourced. Outsourced is defined as product, services or activity done by third-party provider. Auditor needs particular attention in case of working at multiple sites and locations, and the important activities which are provided by the third-party providers and needed more specific attention while the designing, planning and validating the audit program. In case of smaller and higher complexity category, audit program time duration may be increased or decreased. For understanding the activity of client, the auditor should pay attention on some element of organization. What are organizational objectives? What are the relevant internal and external issues? What are the needs and expectations of interested parties? Organization must assign the work to employee who can manage the audit program so that the audit gets planned efficiently. Here is the sample audit program which certification body used. The audit program of the organization should include the following information and resources which are required to conduct the audit effectively. With the time assigned duration and the information of audit program should include the following things as: the audit program should include the objective. You can see from the sample given. Must identify the risk and opportunities relevant to audit program and what action will be taken if risk occurs. Must write the activities, boundaries and location of audit. Have to write the duration, frequency and number of audit in the program. Have to define the type of audit, internal or external audit. External audit may be certification audit. Have to define the audit criteria in the audit program. Will have to define the audit method, which we'll consider during audit. Example, at on-site audit, auditors interact directly with the auditees, carry out face-to-face interviews, collect sample with auditee participation, review documents, complete checklists. This is a criteria provision in the audit program for deciding the audit team members. Some of the documented information. Here is mandatory document and records which organization has to prepare as per the standard requirement ISO 19011-2018. Every certification body have to prepare the audit program of each client to plan the audit effectively. Now, let's take an example how to write non-conformities against clause 5.1 general of the ISO 19011-2018 standard requirement. The audit program should include information and identify resources to enable the audit to be conducted effectively and efficiently within the specified timeframes. The information should include 1. Audit criteria. 2. Criteria for selecting audit team members. Non-conformity minor. Check the audit program ABC F010 found that the checklist does not contain provision to define the audit criteria and criteria for selecting the audit team. Now, we will talk about what common mistakes auditor and certification body do while preparing audit program. Certification bodies and auditor forget to ask their multiple site location. Sometimes forget to ask they are doing design and development activity or not. But this requirement only affects the ISO 9001-2015 standard audit. Dear friends, we have now come to the conclusion of this training session. See you soon with an exciting new topic. Till then, goodbye.